and everything will come to an end. We all have an end time. You don't look so happy. It's a reality that we don't like, that we're not happy about. It's something we can't predict. It can be today. It can be when we're sleeping. It can be tomorrow. It can be now, hopefully not, but it can be any time. And it's very confronting, but it's a reality. It's a reality. So the way the world runs today, especially Western society, we don't see death often. We know so many people that die, but we don't physically see death. It's hidden. The way the world is run, death is hidden. Today, the life expectancy is around 80. But back in the day, it was 40. People were born dead. So you see death all the time. So they didn't have good medicine back in the day. People would die early. Even the Black Plague, a third of the population died. To the point where they could see someone dying. And even the first sneeze, people go up to them like, God bless you, knowing that you're going to die. So that's where the word bless you comes from. When you sneeze, bless you, it's saying, oh, you're going to die. That was back in the day. So today, what happens where does someone usually die? On the what, sorry? On the toilet. Okay. Well, in hospitals, yeah, exactly. Back in the day, hospitals weren't used for dying. It was used for healing. If you want to die, you go home and die. Back in the day, and you go and you surround yourself with your family. But today, if you're dying, the doctors will tell you to get out of the room and try to heal the person. So when you're dying, you're surrounded by doctors, hidden. Everything's hidden. Death is hidden from today's society. The way society is run is that it likes to hide death. Okay? It hides it, pretends like it doesn't exist. So when we live our lives, we pretend like we have all the time in the world. We fight with someone, it's all right. I have another 5 years, 10 years to reconcile. We think we have a long time, but we don't. So I searched up on Google, how does Western society view death? Can someone read that, please?
In modern Western societies, death is often ignored or feared. Changes in lifestyles and improved medical science have depersonalized death and made it an encroachment on life instead of part of life. This has left many people ill-equipped to deal with death when it touches their lives.
So the way today's run is that it's ignored. Death doesn't happen. We don't see death. Okay? But it's very important to get up before you die. Always remember your death. If you lived your life every day thinking that today you will die, what would you do? Would you change the way you act towards people? This is from Mark chapter 13, verse 35. Watch, therefore, for you do not know when the master of the house is coming, in the evening, at midnight, at the crowing of the rooster, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly he finds you sleeping. And what I say to you, I say to all, watch. What I say to you, I say to all, watch. He's saying it to everyone, watch. You can die today. This could be your last time sleeping today. So what do I do today? What do I do with my time? Do I go on my phone all day, pretending like I have 10 years to read the Bible? Sorry, I don't need to read the Bible. I have another 10 years. I really like this verse, one of my favorite, a quote from St. Augustine. Can someone read that, please?
Take care of your body as if you were going to live forever, and take care of your soul as if you were going to die tomorrow.
Take care of your soul as if you're going to die tomorrow. What do I do with my time? Take care of your body as if we're going to live forever. So we live our lives, we sleep in, like, oh, it's all right, I don't no gym today. It's all right. We live as if like we have forever to go to the gym. But we should live as if we'll die today. perfection of character is this: to live each day as if it was your last. It was a very big Roman idea that remembering your death was even back in the Roman times. So when a Roman emperor used to come in his great glory, so when he used to raid and conquer all these cities, he used to walk in with his horses, with his army, and everyone used to glorify him. Look at this great person. But it was a custom that someone would go behind them and whisper in their ear, "Memento mori," meaning remember that you must die. Back in the day, in the Roman times, the emperors were thought as of gods. People used to make sacrifices to them. But they were always reminded that you're going to die. You're not a god. Remember that you will die. To prevent them from being consumed by hubris, which is pride. Socrates, philosophy is about nothing else but dying and being dead. To practice death is to practice freedom. A man who has learned how to die has unlearned how to be a slave. Herod the Great, he was also a Roman, but he did not use this term, remember to die. If anyone knows Herod the Great, he was a complete whack job. He was crazy. He was the emperor that when Jesus was born, he was the emperor that killed all the babies. The reason why he did that, because he was so scared that someone would take his throne. This guy, he killed his mother, he killed his brother, he killed his sons, all his sons. Anyone that was a threat to him, he'll kill him. Even he killed a priest because, he might be a high priest and take my throne. So he killed him. He killed anyone. Everyone that comes in his way, killed. 4 days before he's about to die, he's like, you know what? I'm going to kill my son just in case if he takes my throne. So 4 days about to die, he knew he was going to die, he kills his son. And this is how we live our life. We live like we're going to live forever. We're going to... Okay, next. Oops. So there's a nice book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. One of the habits is begin with the end in mind. Does anyone want to guess what that means? Begin with the end in mind?
To know your goal.
To know your goal? Yeah.
To know what you're going to do here.
Yeah, to know your goal. Yeah. Anyone else? No? Okay. So we're going to do like a little activity where we're going to close our eyes, or if you want to pretend to close your eyes. So picture yourself going to a funeral. Someone died. Someone very, very close to your loved one died. Picture yourself driving up the driveway in your black attire, your black dress, or your black suit, and you get out of the car. As you get out of the car, you walk in the church, and you see familiar faces. You smell the incense. You hear the hymns. Everyone's sobbing, a bit sad. Someone just died. As you look at the front, at the funeral, you see the picture. It's you. You've attended your own funeral. It's you. You go take a seat in the congregation. You have a brochure. You open the brochure, and 4 people are going to speak in your funeral. Someone in your family. The first speaker is someone in your family, either close or extended. Your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your cousins, your niece, your nephew. The second speaker is someone of your friends who knows you really well. The third speaker is someone from your work or your job who knows you, your work colleague. The fourth speaker is someone from church who you serve with, someone who knows you well and you serve with. Now, think deeply. These 4 people, what would you like each one of them to say about you? It's your funeral. They're about to say, they have 4 speeches, 4 people. What would you want them to say about you? Okay. So, the point of this is look carefully to the person around you, or the people around you. What character would you like to have left behind for them to learn from? Okay. And when you build a house, to the point of begin with the mind, when you build a house, what do you do? What do you do when you build a house?
You do a sketch of what you want to
Yeah, you do a sketch. You scan, you measure everything. You plan everything. You plan the rooms. What are you going to do? Then you go through this whole process with the builders. You plan everything first. Can you just build a house and just put bricks and that's it? No. So you have to start with your sketch. You have to sit down, plan. And that's what begin with the end in mind is. The end is your death. We begin today, we treat everyone as if we're going to die. What would you want them to say about you when you die? The carpenter's rule, measure twice, cut once. Measure twice, cut once. Measure twice what we're going to do in our lives. Measure twice how we act or how we treat people. To begin with the end in mind means to start with a clear understanding of your destination. It means to know where you're going so that you better understand where you are now and so that the steps you take are always in the right direction. So the first topic is get up before you die. In modern society, we don't think of death that often because it's hidden from us, but the reality is that we will die. We'll all die. Death is your neighbor. Live each day like it will be your last, and all the interaction with everyone around you will change. What would you like those who are close to you say once you're gone? Remember your death. Get up before you die. Okay, so that's the first topic. Second one is how do we get back on track when we are stuck in a rut? What's a rut? Does anyone know what a rut is? A ditch, yeah, like a ditch, like a groove, yeah, okay. So, what do we do when we're stuck in a rut? Okay, we spoke about physical death, physically dying, but now I'm going to speak about spiritually dying, which is basically getting stuck in a rut. It's like, what do you do to a dead person? You bury them in a ditch, right? So when you're stuck in a rut, it's kind of like you're buried, right? Okay. So I googled what a ditch is. Rut, sorry, it's like a ditch, a trench. When we are stuck in a rut, it's like being buried. We might be a bit dead inside. When we're away from God, we're a bit dead. Okay. Everything we do when we're away from God, it's a bit dead. And what happens when I'm a bit dead? I walk around and then I see my flesh starts running away. I'm a bit dead. What do? I cover my flesh. It's rotting. Okay, it's not good. Then I put a nice jacket on, cover my death. Then I start to smell bad. The death is smell. What's that smell? So I put cologne on. Put nice cologne. I put a nice hat on. My hair starts to fall out. I'm dying. So I put a scarf on. You know, like this guy dresses himself. He's dead. Right? The more dead we are, the more our skin starts to change color. The flesh begins to rot, so I cover it. Okay, anyways. So this is the kids at church. Okay. Not all dead, no, I'm kidding. This is Verenia, back in Tyree. This is what we do. We're dead inside. We're spiritually dead, but we like to cover ourselves in fancy stuff. We're away from God. Everything we do in service, we're dead, but we try to do service anyway. What's going to happen? Your service is dead. Spiritually, you're dead. Everything you do is dead. Your business, if you don't have business, like your job or your uni, you're dead. You're dead. Everything you do is dead. It's useless. Everything you do without God is useless. And we try to cover up everything with all these clothes. This woman's drinking wine, drinking her problems away. Proverbs. For whoever finds me finds life, but he who sins against me wrongs his own soul. All those who hate me love death. Just that yellow part at the bottom from C.S. Lewis. Can someone... Oh, whoops. Okay, it's stuck. You got stuck. But it got stuck. It's all right. I think I'll just read it. Oh. Scrap, are you sure? do you fix this? Yeah, this thing's dead. It's dead inside. Oh my gosh. Questions?
Sorry, technical.
Any questions about anything? It doesn't have to be about. Yeah. Yeah. So I had a note, but obviously I didn't read all of it. So it's not supposed to be depressing. For you to remember your death, it's not supposed to be for something. It's not supposed to be upsetting. It's supposed to just be a reminder that you can die tomorrow. So live your best life. Not your best life, as in like go party hard, but you live your life like, you know what? What's the question? Yeah. Yeah. Well, the point of remembering your death is not supposed to be to upset you. It's supposed to give us hope because we actually never die because we are alive with Christ once we die. Very terrible answer. But anyways, can someone read that? Just the bottom part.
No.
Just the bottom part? Yeah, just the bottom part. The yellow part.
Okay. Once a man is separated from God, what can he do but wither and die?
Yeah. So that's the thing we should be scared of. Separation from God is real death. Okay, which kind of answers your question. But if we're with God, this doesn't have my notes, damn it. How am I supposed to fix this? No. Dang it, please. Oh, thank you. Exposed my notes. It's alright. I think we can live with that. You can read my notes. Questions? If you're still sad anyway. You don't leave like the earth. Well, you're dead. You're dead inside. That's what I think. What was the question again? Sorry, I'm like. No, are you sure? Okay. All right. I've set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life that both you and your descendants may live, that you may love the Lord your God and you obey his voice, and that you may cling to him, for he is your life and the length of your days. So to answer your question, actually, is that if we're scared we're going to die, it's because maybe that we don't obey his voice and we don't choose life. Choosing, you either choose life or death, and it's up to us. Separation. Oh, can someone read that, please?
Separation from God is death, and separation from light is darkness.
So, I think when we separate ourselves from God, we kind of die, we're kind of in death. So that's when we get a bit scared. Like, I really like this world. I really like what I'm doing. I like my job. I like the money I'm making. So then, because I like what I do, I kind of like what I do more than God. And this is a sort of death inside. And being dead inside, or having sin that's hidden, is kind of like a thief in the night. Okay? Let's say, for example, the lights of this church turns off and it's pitch black. Perfect opportunity for a thief to come and start stealing from the money box. He'll come and steal. The lights off, no one sees him stealing. He's a thief, no one knows he's there. But what happens when the lights go back on? Or he's exposed. You can't steal anymore if the light's on. So, a thief likes to steal. He may get some satisfaction out of it. A thief who likes to steal, he probably gets some adrenaline rush. And then that means he will always have the opportunity to steal if there's an opportunity. If he's living in darkness, then it's an opportunity to steal. But a thief cannot steal if the light exposes him. It's exactly like sin. When sin is hidden away in the dark, it is easier to do. So we have to expose it to the light. Somebody read that, please. Yeah, so everyone practicing evil hates the light. The thief hates the light. A sinner would hate light because it exposes him or her or whatever. It exposes you. So the question at the bottom, how to let go of a sin? Oh, so this is the next question. So there was 3 questions. So how to let go of a sin that is impossible to leave? How do we let go of a sin that is impossible to leave? It's impossible for a thief to steal if it's exposed by the light. So very simply, the question, how to let go of a sin that is impossible to leave, we expose it with a flashlight or a magnifying glass. We see what's wrong. We examine it. And then okay, this is the problem. Then we fix it. Okay? Then you have to expose it. If you're sick and you have something wrong with you, okay, you have a cancer, and then you hide it away. Can the doctor heal you? Or can you blame the doctor and saying, oh, you found a cancer in me, that's your fault? Can you say that? No. So, Andrew, can you read?
But he who does the truth comes to the light, that his deeds may be clearly seen, that they have been done in God.
Yeah. So how to let go of a sin that is impossible to leave? Expose it by light. The next.
For as the mirror is not evil to an ugly man because it shows him what he is like, and as the physician is not evil to the sick man because he tells him of his fever. For the physician is not the cause of the fever, but only points out the fever.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Self-explanatory. Also, St. Macarius says something similar. If you look into the mirror to observe yourself, the mirror will tell you that you're either you're beautiful or you're ugly. Can you blame the mirror and say that, oh, it's ugly? Yeah, it's you. It's exactly what we do with the light. We're living in darkness, the light shines on us. Oh, that's so ugly, So that's what light does. So this is a continuation. So we can't blame God. So neither is he that reproves ill-disposed towards him who is diseased in soul. We can't blame God if we're diseased in soul. He's just the light that exposes you. Okay? The physician is doing good even if he produces distress or pain in the body. It's like God. Right? We have a bit of hidden sin. God is there causing a pain. It's painful because we have sickness. Okay? For he fights the illness, not the sick person, so also God is good. So I think it tackled all 3 of these questions. So the death part and the light part. How do we get back on track when we're stuck in a rut? When we're stuck in a rut, we're spiritually dead. Okay. Well, I don't think I gave an answer for that. But anyways, and how to get lukewarmness. I don't think I touched on that either. How to let go of a sin that seems impossible to leave. Expose it with the light. And the way to expose it, I forgot to mention, is you don't talk to like any random about it. You talk to a confession father so he can tell you, he can direct you, he can tell you what's wrong, he can tell you what you're doing good or bad. But we don't know if we don't expose it with the light. So we didn't really touch on how to get rid of lukewarmness, but basically lukewarmness is that I don't really want to get rid of my sin. I don't really want light in my life. I don't want to expose it. I like sin a bit too much. I like to steal a bit too much. Once, I don't think I should be saying this, but once me and my school friends used to go Woolies a lot. And just when the scan thing just came in, and so we used to steal like so much. Like you scan it and okay, we used to do it all the time until I told my confession father, I exposed it, but I shouldn't have done it. And he was like, okay, next time you scan everything 3 times. I was like, man, I'm never stealing again. So if you don't expose it, you'll keep doing it. And you'll never get a solution. Now, every single time I think of stealing something, oh my gosh, 3 times. No way. I'm not going to do that. So the last one, how to reignite a spiritual life, which is open for discussion. How to reignite a spiritual life? Someone?
I think spending some time with the light. So it can be, like, I think quiet time is really important to reigniting a spiritual life. Like if you sit down with God and just enjoy some time, some quiet time, I think that can be a really effective way to reignite like your spiritual life.
No, very nice. Yeah. If we're in quiet time and we're exposing ourselves with God, it's either we get up in frustration or we sit there exposing the light. Just really nice, yeah, sitting in quiet time. So always remember how to reignite our spiritual life. I just noted quickly. Always remember that we will die. Okay, we can die today, we can die tomorrow, we can die when we're sleeping, we can die whenever. We live our lives acting as if we have 20 years. If we fight with someone, we act as if we have another 5 years to deal with it. We live our lives acting as if we have another 20 years to read our Bible. I'm not going to read the Bible today, I'm a bit tired. I'll read it tomorrow. But it can be your last night. If we live our life every day as if we'll die, every day we'll beg God for forgiveness. Lukewarm, try shed some light. Why am I lukewarm? Is there something I'm hiding? Is there something I'm addicted to and I don't want to let go, or I can't let go? Once we shed some light, expose it to your confession father and he will guide you through it. And we think, I'll just read this verse. I don't know why I put it here. Okay, can someone read it, please? Sorry.
For a righteous man may fall 7 times and rise again, but the wicked shall fall by calamity.
Yeah. So I think I remember why I put it here. There's a difference between a righteous man and a wicked man. 2 people can do this exact same thing. A righteous man can do the exact same thing as a wicked man. But the only difference is a righteous man will get up every single time he falls. A righteous man might fall 7 times. A wicked man might fall 2 times. But if the wicked man doesn't get up, it's like, oh, there's nothing wrong with me. I don't need to expose anything. I'm all good. Then he's wicked. But if the righteous man falls 20 times or 50 times, but he gets up 51 times, he's righteous. So the reason why I put a monk, there was once a story I heard. Some guy was walking the desert and sees a monk. And he says, hey monk, what? Who are you? And the monk says, I'm a Christian. It's It's like, what do you mean you're a Christian? What's a Christian? Oh, so it's very simple. I fall, I get up. I fall, I get up. I fall, I get up. And that's the story. That's it. So it's any of it, like even in the desert or the monks, the whole purpose is I fall, I get up. I fall, I get up. So the topic, get up before you die. Okay? Not how to get up to get back on track, but get back on track when we are stuck in a rut. Get out of lukewarmness. Let go of the sin that seems impossible to leave. Reignite our spiritual life. So get up. We fall, we get up. Okay? Get up before we die. Get back on track and get out of lukewarmness by exposing ourselves so we can reignite our spiritual lives. And glory be to God forevermore. Amen. Is there any questions?
I was just going to add one comment. I think you raised a really good point about reigniting your spiritual life. I think one of the key ways to reignite your spiritual life is hope,
Hope. Yeah.
which is what you alluded to.
Yeah.
So
Like you fall, you get up.
yeah, but always having that hope, like
Yeah.
no matter what I do,
Yeah.
have that hope that if I get up, God will accept me.
Yeah.
And having that hope is one way to reignite your spiritual life.
Yeah.
And the devil will use despair, and it's one of the key, I guess, weapons that the devil has is despair.
Yeah.
Like
Despair,
God's not going to
guilt.
accept you now. You know, a lot of priests will say, like, usually the way the devil works is before the sin, he'll tell you, just do the sin, and then after repent, and you'll be forgiven, no problem. God will take you back. He's very merciful. And then right after you sin, the devil will, whisper in your ear, how can God accept you? Look at what you have done.
Yeah.
God's
So
never
the
going to
guilt
accept
starts
you.
to whisper in you.
So he hits you with despair after, and he reminds you of God's mercy before.
Yeah.
But yeah, to reignite your spiritual life, hope is,
Yeah,
I
hope.
think, a really key.
Really good point. Also, Carol asked me to speak a bit about guilt as well, but I don't think I covered it. But just to briefly cover it, guilt in the first 4 centuries of Christianity did not exist at all. There's no such thing as guilt. How the monks used to live their lives, they'll fall, they'll get up straight away without thinking about anything. Oh, I've sinned, all right, get up. That's it. Very, very simple. Not, I just feel, I might take a week to tell everyone, I'm a bit tired today. I don't want to get up today. I feel hopeless now. But the way early Christianity did it is before you get up, no matter what you did. Any question? Any other questions? Yeah.
You touched on service and basically being over service. How would you reignite your passion for service while still doing service? Because you feel guilt tripped into sacking it. So please shed some light.
Can you repeat the question?
No, I did. I said it.
So how to reignite our lives if we want to serve?
No, because you said something about like doing service, but you're dead inside, like you're only doing it because you have to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Like
how
we
would
do
you
it-
reignite that?
So I was speaking about we're dead inside, but we still serve. But because I'm dead inside, my service is dead. I think that's what I was saying. The solution is that I don't know. Okay, can you repeat the question? No. I'll try to answer it.
I think if I could help, I think it's like reminding yourself why you're serving and who you're serving. So I think that's where I think quiet time comes in. And actually, I was listening to a sermon a long time ago, and the priest was saying, or it was a bishop, I can't remember. He was saying, like, if you're a servant, you should be taking like, I don't know, he said a certain amount, like twice a year, you should be going like 3 days or something to some kind of spiritual retreat where all you're doing is focusing on, you're not serving anyone, you're being served, you're relaxing and you're enjoying your time with God. And that recharges you and reminds you why you're serving. And when you've received that love, you go back and give that love in service. And this bishop was saying, like, you should, like, as a servant, you should be, I guess, aware and responsible for recharging your own spiritual life. But before you go and serve others. So I think if you feel like in service you're stuck in a rut, you should try to find a way where you can, I guess, take some spiritual time where you're being served and you're enjoying your time with God again. Like you're enjoying it, not, it's just I have to do it every week and
Yeah,
it's
very good
the
point.
rut.
I think I can take it either two ways. If I really, really don't like my service and I think it's destroying me, just leave. Like you don't have to feel guilty about leaving. But another way to think of it is it's a long story. I have a story in mind, but I won't say the story. It's either like you're being burned by fire because your service sucks and everyone around you sucks and I can't stand it. It's either you try to be patient, you learn yourself a virtue, or you teach yourself a virtue. You be patient, because if you do that, your patience increases. But if you're in your service and you think you're losing patience and not doing it well, then leave. That's what I think. Obviously, speak to your confession father about it, because don't say, "Oh, Chris told me to leave my service," and then blame me. All right, does that answer your question at all? So that means no. No worries. All right.
Thank you, Chris, on a very insightful talk there. So just to give you guys a reminder, that was the first topic of a new series on Back to Christian Basics. So Chris covered quite a bit there. Get up before you die. How do we get back on track when we're stuck in a rut? How to get out of lukewarmness and how to get out of sin that seems impossible to leave. So next week will be Live or Die. Life is a choice. To live is Christ. So that's next week's topic. Just some short announcements. There's tasbeha in the youth. There's a youth tasbeha in the Arabic church at 7 p.m. every Thursday night. This Thursday, it is this Thursday. There's our SYC combined youth meeting. It's with Abuna Gabriel Yassa, and they're starting a new series called "You Are Loved," and the first topic is created in God's image. So that's going to be at St. Mary's and St. Mina's Cathedral, and that's at 8 p.m. So I believe tasbeha might be a little bit earlier, but I'll update the times on the chat. The church hall has been cleaned tonight because there's a christening going on tomorrow. So please don't go into the church hall. There'll be food and fellowship in the youth room. The only other announcement is the summer youth camp. I guess just roughly save the dates for late January. Exact dates haven't been confirmed yet, but it will be most likely around late January. Just a heads up, I guess. Is there any other announcements? Yes. Okay. Maybe not yet. No. No, I can't. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm sure it'll be on WhatsApp or something. All right. If there's no further announcements, we'll stand up for prayer.
O Lord, make us worthy to pray thankfully. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Through Jesus Christ our Lord, for thine is the kingdom, power, and glory forevermore. Amen.